South Korea may look modern, fast, and highly organized. But after living here for 2 years, I've seen a completely different side of the country that I'm gonna share with you in this video. From entering the world's smallest living spaces, this is so claustrophobic, holy crap, dude, to learning a variety of unspoken rules and restrictions. Out of the whole day today, this is the only piece of trash I've seen. To even meeting a North Korean refugee who now lives and adapts his life in Seoul.
Hi, I'm Moon-ho. I escaped there when I was 26 years old.
We're gonna kick things off inside the craziest living conditions you've ever seen. Can you imagine if your entire house is this small? That is a reality for 150,000 Koreans living in tiny apartments.
I thought this place was like a jail. This is my house. Which one?
Here.
It's very interesting how it's in a commercial building.
Yeah, I was
right?
just gonna say, like, we just turned the corner, there's all these shops and cafes, and then it's like, boom, right here. Look at this place. It is so small. The alleyway here, when you walk in, it's like 2 feet wide. This is the entire space right here. That's it. If you're small like me, you can fit in the bed perfectly. Wow. And if you wake up, you stand here, and this is all the space you have right here. Like, insanely small living here in Korea. Bathroom, I mean, this is tiny. How long have you lived here?
Probably like half year.
Can you give me a tour? I want to know everything.
This is the door. There's a mirror, so like I can brush my teeth over there. And like this is like my laundry bag, my trash bag. Like this is my old clothes and stuff.
I like how it's very organized in this small closet.
This is a nice little light here. LED light.
Yeah, we can like turn on and turn off the switch light. There's a button. I'm a tour guide, so like if I take a picture with the guest or like if I get some like souvenir, I just put all the stuff in here. Even though it's so small, you have space for everything. There's a little office, there's even a fridge, there's a bed, this is the bathroom. So, did you pee on the floor? No. So the reason why this is so like dark and brown, because if I put water on here, it's not getting down.
So it's clogged.
Yeah, so it's clogged. So what I do is, like when I use this water, I always do like.
So that's why it looks like there's pee stains on the floor, but it's just water. When I lived in Korea for 2 years teaching English, I had a small studio, and the most shocking thing for me was the shower is connected to the sink. So there's only one lever to turn it on. The first time I ever went in my room, I thought I was turning on the sink, and I turned on the shower and I got soaking wet. So what else is in here? Why do you have a balloon?
This is the only window what I have. So if I open my window,
It's connected to the hallway.
yeah, so people can look and watch my place. So like I'm protecting and
This is a fire hazard. Like you have to have a window, like emergency exit.
my room is much cheaper than another room because I don't have any window. It's
How much do you spend for 1 month?
$250 in a month.
Wow, that's very affordable.
250 bucks? Man, that's really, really cheap. So, do you know your neighbors, the people who live around you?
I don't know their name, but I just say hi. I'm the youngest person who live in this Goshiwon. Average of the age, people who live here, like they're like middle 40s, or like,
Really?
older 50s.
You have AC, that's nice. Do you have internet?
So they provide some Wi-Fi.
Wait, so 250 bucks a month and you get Wi-Fi?
They provide Wi-Fi, unlimited ramen, and unlimited rice and kimchi. I'll show it later.
It's a good deal, bro. What do you got in your fridge?
Bean sprout because I love ramen.
How many times in one day do you eat ramen?
10 ramen in a week.
10 ramen.
So probably like 1.5 ramen.
What do you think about that?
That's some Korean drama struggling person story, man. I average like one a month.
But you're also jacked. Damn, what is this thing?
I don't have much money to go to gym, so I have to do something. So I do like kind of push up, pull up, and this is, I don't know how to say it in English, but like I do like this. And this is like 50 kilograms. You wanna try?
Yeah, he can break it with his pinky.
Oh my god, it's actually quite hard.
Do you feel claustrophobic if you stay here for like many hours or like one full day?
I came here on January. I thought this place was like a jail, so I don't want to live here. But after like May, I feel very comfortable. I'm like waiting to stay and like rest in my house. Goshwon is like part of my life. I'm very good with everything because like this is only like 250 bucks and I can save all money. Like, bank account, I can invest in the stock. It's really good.
So you used to live in a Goshwon.
I did.
Was it similar to this one?
Yes, except mine actually didn't have a private toilet. This is one of the better Goshwon rooms that I've been to.
What does this say?
Like I invest stock, so when I invest my stock, I always have to like be careful and like let's save the money, like kind of that.
Foreign stocks. Be strict with the standards. Do not invest in one stock with more than 15% of the capital.
You read that every night before you go to bed?
If I feel like crazy, like if I can like handle, I always try to like focus and make some like standard. That is part of it. So
You like sunflower seeds?
when I study or when I have to do something, I'm not good at focusing, so I try to chew this sunflower so I can like wake up.
You have to spit out the shell.
I usually just swallow. So I don't eat more than one.
How long do you think you will live in this Goshwon?
Oh, one moment. Let me just swallow it and I'll talk.
Don't choke, man. This is like proper Goshwon life.
Yes.
The reason I live in Goshwon, like my goal is making like saving $70,000 in this Goshwon. But I think I like Goshwon, so even if I can like save $70,000, I will still live in Goshwon. I love it.
This is a crazy experience, man. When people think of Korea, they don't think about this.
So this is our trash house, like all the plastic trash over here. So this is our kitchen where we can do a laundry, and this is a treasure box. If you open it, treasure. This is like unlimited ramen. All we can eat is all ours. You can only get this in my Goshwon.
감사합니다.
This is amazing.
That's very thoughtful.
I got my Goshwon ramen. That's so amazing and so Korean. Bro. If you've never tried it, it's fermented spicy cabbage. And Koreans eat it with every meal.
They also provide rice, so I don't have to spend money for a grocery.
And even the water that you were drinking earlier from the jug, did you get that water from here?
They also provide water. And inside, this is my laundry.
Ah. All right, it is boiling hot in this room. I am like sweating from every part of my body.
Ah.
So let's go outside. This is how Sang-woo spends his time on the rooftop.
Before I eat ramen, because eating ramen always is like a criminal. So I have to refresh my blood.
What else do you do up here? Do you meditate?
I don't smoke, but people who come here, they smoke and feel the atmosphere, vibe of this local neighborhood. And this is the push-up bar. Whew.
So I have a question for you. I used to live in a Goshwon, like I said. I thought it was quite negative for my health. Do you feel okay? White rice, kimchi, instant noodle all the time? It seems like you're eating that very often.
I know it's very unhealthy, and I know like sometimes I feel sick because ramen is like a fried noodle. So I try to eat some like local fruit or like vegetable in like local market, so I can like balancing with ramen, fresh veggie, fresh fruit.
I see.
Yeah, mix it.
You seem to have a very positive attitude about like living here. That's really great.
Yeah.
I was very much suffering when I was living in the Goshwon.
Actually, this is my second time to live in Goshwon, but that Goshwon was like terrible. The distance of the room was too small, tight, and like every people like hate each other. But here, like more open space, like people say just hi, and I think it's kind of lovely.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Like I have a person like contacting, but like I don't have.
I have a person contacting. Have you brought her here?
2 days ago.
And is it a problem?
No, I think it's not a problem. My door, my room, protect the noisy and sound.
What kind of noises?
Okay, yeah.
It's crazy walking around this building and just seeing all the residents. Like most of them are older, like in their 40s or 50s. People just leave their stuff in the hallway. Like
Supposedly the person that lives here is getting evicted. That's why the stuff is all outside in the hallway. He has a severe mental condition, so we have to be very careful. He has a criminal record.
I can't imagine living in this apartment building, but I understand why it makes sense for Sangwoo. Now we are heading across town to see how people are living in the heart of Seoul. We've made it to Seoul Station here, which is obviously the main train station where you can take a bullet train anywhere in the country. And this is also the place with the highest homeless population in Seoul, which is really interesting. I've never actually met any homeless people in South Korea, so we're gonna see who we can meet living on the streets and if they have homes, if they're gonna show us.
Our welfare system is quite decent, so we don't really have people that go homeless because of financial difficulties. It's more because of the combination of finances and mental health.
Right. What's going on right here?
It seems that they're doing a volunteer work where they give free haircuts to the senior citizens.
We've just met Kim Chi-eun, who lives right here in this place, and he's so kindly allowing us to see his place for a donation.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. I love you. Please pray.
Always got to remove shoes when you enter any Korean household. Okay, so it's actually really cozy in here. Like, he's got all of his stuff. He's got photos, he's got his Korean flag, he's got his bed where he sleeps. It's extremely hot in here. Bro, it's like a heat, it's like sucks in the heat.
Right, it's like a little steam sauna actually. I don't know how anybody can stay here.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, we're literally right next to the highway. Like, look, it's right there. Of course, I knew that I was gonna find a soju bottle at some point. In fact, more bottles of this are sold in Korea than any other liquor in the world. How many years have you lived here?
He's been living in the same spot for over 20 years.
20 years? Before you came here, what were you doing in life?
여기 오기 전에는요, 동일 방지 때였어요.
Only one of the sentences made any sense. It sounded like he used to work for an electronics company, and he said something about his younger brother passing.
Do you have any family or anyone that can look after you?
가족분들이 이제 군포 안에 계신데.
He said his parents are in Gunpo, which is a different city that's about an hour away.
And can I ask you, why do you have the chain and the eyebrows? Is that like a style, a fashion?
이제 쿠니스, 늑대와 총을 마이클 잭슨.
It sounded like he's just rambling out random words, word by word. The only thing that could make sense out of is the eyebrows and manicure. 손톱이 굉장히 예쁘세요.
It's just hard to explain how hot it is in here. It's super hot in general in the summer in Korea, and this like traps the heat inside. Super humid. What happens when it rains, and what about in the winter time?
숙박처럼 숨어 있고 이제 비 안 오면 햇빛 말려가지고 바깥으로 또 나오고.
So when it rains, he's gonna hide under this tarp, and he dries it after the sun.
And how about like in the freezing cold?
지금 하우스 매니저스 하우스를 얘기하고.
So it looks like when it gets extremely cold, unbearably cold, there is a shelter that he can go to.
If you could say one message to everybody in the world, what would you tell them?
이제 너와 나와.
You and I must realize the reality.
That's powerful. Thank you so much.
우리 아드님 손님하고도 많이 닮았는데.
How does it feel for you to be in here right now and talk to this guy?
I haven't had an interaction with a homeless person my entire life in Korea. It is in fact very rare to see one, and to meet and talk to them, it kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's very emotional.
아카데미도 몰래 봐보고 고양이도 있어요. 고양이도 있어요. 아이고 고양이
Oh my God, he has a cat. Jesus Christ.
왜 이렇게 I love you, I love you. 자기를 좋아해요, I love you.
That's an aggressive way to have a cat on a leash. That's super sad, actually. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Even though South Korea is one of the richest countries in the world and has one of the best economies, you still find people living like this in the middle of the city. It's truly heartbreaking, but it's crazy to see a Korea like this. So the police stopped us and we let him know that we had permission from him to film, and he said it was okay.
감사합니다.
Bye-bye. 감사합니다.
조심하세요. 건강하세요.
I understand a lot of Korean. I didn't understand almost anything he said.
I am Korean myself. I did not understand about 99% of the things he said. It looks like he's having a hard time putting a sentence together.
20 years living on the freeway. It's really sad.
Especially with all the infrastructure that we have, we are able to provide for the homeless people. It's just that they don't have the access to all these social services.
Metro is always the preferred way of travel around Seoul or any really big Asian city. It's clean, it's fast, it's efficient, and it's pretty cheap. It's incredible how many millions of people ride the Seoul Metro every day, and there is not a single piece of trash on the floor. Everyone's on their phone or sleeping.
Right.
It's weird if you're not on your phone or sleeping.
Right.
Look
it's
at every
just
person.
An extremely stressful day, probably.
We've just made it to our next place in a random neighborhood in Western Seoul. There's another Goshiwon down here, which we got connected to, and the guy is kind enough to show us inside. It's so crazy how many people can slam into one floor. All these doors are rooms of different people living inside of Goshiwon. And it's just like when you're walking down the street, you just see the building and it just kind of looks like a normal building. You don't realize that people are actually living like this. I'm going inside of a room that is 9 square meters or 90 square feet. This is the entire unit. Holy crap, this thing is freaking tiny. This is so claustrophobic. Holy crap, dude, look at the bathroom. Full office station here. You got all your cabinets up there. You got only the essentials down here, which is gochujang sauce, and then literally one beer. Just being in here for 5 minutes, I'm already like uncomfortable. It's crazy to think that 150,000 people in Seoul are living in Goshiwons or rooms that are this tiny. Wow.
Most rooms don't have their own private toilet, but he prefers privacy, so he's paying extra to have his private restroom here.
This is the toilet, the shower, and the sink all in one, and you can barely fit through the crack here. I mean, it is a foot wide. The door doesn't open anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't open anymore.
That's as wide as it gets.
I like to think that I'm pretty skinny. I literally can't get out of the bathroom. Oh, man. You have to stay skinny to live in this room, otherwise you can't literally get in the bathroom.
Yeah, I could.
신발 젖어 있어가지고.
What are your thoughts, Jimmy?
It's really crazy, man. I honestly wouldn't be able to live here. Like, there's no sense of like breathable space here.
So how much do you pay for 1 month rent to live here?
42만 원.
420,000 Korean won.
So more than the other one.
Yes.
How long have you lived in this space for?
4달째.
4 months.
4 months. What's the best and the worst part about living here?
에어컨을 마음대로 틀 수 있는 점. 그리고
The best thing about it is that he has unlimited air conditioner. The downside is the space is so small that he can't really store anything here.
Do you know any of the neighbors, like people living here?
없습니다.
Really?
다들 이제
He lives like directly next to all these people. There's got to be like 16 rooms, but he doesn't talk to any of them. So it's very isolating and very antisocial, even though you're in this like community space.
If I had to be honest,
Yeah, sure.
if I lived here, I'd be in such feeling of sadness that I wouldn't really feel like going out and making friends.
Completely speechless just being in here. All right. Damn, this one really got me, man. That was quite an experience. That was way smaller than the other one. That was sad.
Yeah, I mean, I would not want to live there. I hope it's temporary. He said he's just there until he can make enough money for the deposit to live in a better apartment. But yeah, that was just rough.
As you're walking through the neighborhoods here, how can you tell which buildings are Goshiwon? Does it say on the outside?
Yeah, it typically says on the outside, like right next to the building, there's typically a sign that says Goshiwon or Goshitel.
Not every neighborhood has them. It's just kind of like, I guess where a lot of students are, where a lot of like poor people are, like not rich areas.
Yeah, I would say in places where the land is a little cheaper, they tend to have Goshiwon, and it becomes this extremely affordable housing option for people.
This ties into a greater theme about like the pressures of living in South Korea. Like there's so much pressures by the families to like have a good job and make a lot of money. And that's also a reason why like the suicide rate in Korea is among the highest in the world. Is that like you grew up here, is that true?
I've definitely had that growing up. I mean, it is extremely difficult to afford a proper spacious house in Korea. Right now, like an average house in Korea is like $1 million in Seoul. To be precise, it's probably about $600,000-$700,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment that is required to, you know, have a family and raise kids.
The wages are not that high to support that. I mean, that's crazy.
You know how they're saying Korea is disappearing because we have a population crisis? It's not that we don't want to have family, or it's not that we don't want to get married. It's just that to have a family, it requires a stable home. And we just simply can't afford it.
Right now we are in the beating heart and soul of Korea. This is Gangnam, made famous by the song Gangnam Style by Psy. It is the bustling district of restaurants, bars, nightclubs, cafes, and a lot of plastic surgery.
That's exactly right. So
you live in Gangnam.
I do live in Gangnam district.
What attracts you to this place versus others?
So a lot of people want to live in Gangnam just because we have great access to corporate buildings. Like if you had a job at Google, these people that you see around us are probably corporate workers that just finished their work.
What do you think is the average wage for these like corporate workers?
Oh, I know for a fact that an average income pre-tax is $2,700 for a Korean individual.
So after tax, it's like $2,000 a month?
Just above $2,000, yeah.
So that's not a lot of money. And we're living in like a city that's not exactly cheap, especially in this area. So that explains a little bit why people have to live in goshwons.
Correct.
They're just not making a lot of money here.
Right. If you had a rental apartment around here, like a little one-bedroom studio,
Yeah.
they would get close to $1,000. That's half of their income gone.
Are there goshwons like tucked away in the corners here, or is this all like fancy living?
So there are goshwon around here, but it's very rare to find them just because they would still be very expensive. It's
Right.
a very expensive district.
We are now entering Jimmy's place. He's been so kind to let us see inside of his apartment, which is located right in the heart of Gangnam. How long have you lived in this building?
I think I've been here for 3 years now.
So this is like a normal, like one-bedroom studio.
I would say it's a very average one-bedroom space.
Nice, man. Shoes always off?
Yes, please.
Every single household in this country, shoes off.
All right, come on in. So as soon as you come inside, you'll realize that I don't really have much, and this is the entire living space. The kitchen, the living room, the office. I do all of my work here. I work as a YouTuber in Korea.
So it's not tiny, but it's certainly not big.
It is possible to just get by in this space, and this is how a lot of young people live. I want to say for a one-bedroom space, it's not considered tiny.
How much you pay per month?
I pay about $800 a month.
So compared to like a city like New York or Hong Kong, that's still pretty, like even for this space, that's a good price.
I would think so.
I think so.
And to know that this is in the prime area in Gangnam, it's so accessible to like anywhere from here.
Yeah, you live right next to the metro station. This is a dream for any editor. Holy crap.
I just like working in chaos.
Like, wow. This is very typical for all Korean houses. They don't have dryers. The issue with it is it takes up like 10% of your house.
It also takes a long time, especially during summer when it's like really humid in Korea, to dry my clothes. Only the rich people have dryers.
You're the first person I've ever met where, like, when I see guitars, that you're not a musician. You just collect them.
Yeah, I just collect for the coolness of it.
Your bed is pretty large. You must like your shows, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing video games. So I play a lot of PlayStation on my bed. It's my guilty pleasure. Like, it's my only source of pleasure almost.
Pretty nice setup, bro.
Not bad, right? I want to say it's for like a middle-class person living by him or herself in their 20s or early 30s.
Got it.
Into the late 30s or 40s, this would be considered a low, in fact, a very low standard of living. I like the simplicity of this life.
Check the bathroom. That's a busy sink.
I mean,
Are they all Korean beauty products?
yeah, when I was living in the US, I probably had like 10% of it, but
You become Koreanized.
yes,
Okay, this is very typical. We got the toilet, shower right next to each other.
and completely wet too.
Yep. After we finish checking out Jimmy's place, we get a message from Sangwoo who wants to link back up for cheap street food. For me, it's hard to say no, especially when he's gonna take us to a secret local market that few tourists know about. Afterwards, he wants to show me an even smaller goshwon that he promises will blow my mind. We have arrived at the first place to get some hand-cut noodles for 4,000 won. Let's go. This is a huge bowl of noodle soup for about $3 US. The quality of these noodles look fantastic. These are freshly made in the back. Hand-cut noodles with anchovies and seaweed with the kimchi.
I blow it up like a hand fan to make it like cool.
Like a hand fan.
And I try it with one bite like this.
Holy shit, dude. Are you serious, bro? I mean, for a guy who eats ramen noodles 10 times in a week, it makes sense that he's a professional noodle eater. So, you live in a goshwon. What is your weekly expense? Like, how much money do you spend in 1 week for food, for everything?
Less than $100,
like everything, like transportation, like lifestyle item. I think yeah, everything like under $100
Per week?
Yeah. So I spend like $350 in a month.
They're pretty affordable, man. A lot of people think like Korea and Japan are super expensive, and they can be expensive, but you could also be really cheap. Bro, you're freaking dripping sweat all over the mic.
So when we enjoy our food and we feel good, and like this is like a pleasure. It's like a effort. We enjoying this.
Oh, 많이 먹어. Korean food is my absolute favorite cuisine on earth, and this meal is delicious. But now, the three of us are ready to check out some more small homes in Seoul. The next place we are going to might actually be the tiniest place in the city. Damn, dude, this hallway is super narrow. These are all different rooms around me. This is freaking crazy. This is the little common area where they have a staff member working here. Almost like a hostel. And all the rooms are in here. It's also super hot in here. This is tiny, man. This is the whole room, bro. This is smaller than yours.
So this is like a real original cushion.
This is the entire room. Like we're standing here
So
at the
window
bed.
room is like $220. No window room is like $200.
Dude, there's one little closet. There's one TV. Wow, that's it. This one has no window. I mean, bro, this is smaller than your room.
It's like tiny.
It's suffocating in here. There's no windows, bro. This is actually like a jail cell.
I think so.
Some people would call this a closet, but here in South Korea, this is the home. The whole home. We're not able to meet any residents in this building, but the owner has kindly showed us some empty rooms here. Dude, have you ever seen one that small?
I think I just saw this kind of goshwon in drama. This goshwon established 30 years ago. So I think this is this represent the people who are like not rich, like and people doesn't have money that cannot afford like the rent in Korea. So I think they're staying in this goshwon and they're like struggling, surviving in this goshwon. I hope they luck.
It's true that Korea has an insanely high cost of living, but after touring several buildings where people are struggling to get by, I'm curious to see what a mid-tier apartment in Seoul looks like. So I got in touch with a Twitch streamer and she's gonna give me a tour. Do you mind if I see your house?
Welcome to my
Cool.
space.
Nice. Oh, this is great.
So this is my bedroom. This is where I sleep, read
It's
books.
very pink in here.
It is very pink. Pink is my favorite color. So.
I could have guessed that. This is really cool how the storage space, because we're in the wall here, so
Yeah.
instead of having a dresser that comes out, you can just open it and then you can throw
open
your
it
stuff
and
in
then
there.
just take it out. So it's very, very
It's a
convenient.
really cool design. I've never seen that before. So how much do you spend for 1 month to live here?
1 month. This place is about $900. Plus with the utility and everything, that's about 170. So I think total, it really depends on the unit, but I think total it's going to be like 1,200-ish. This is my company. This is my workplace.
Cool.
Welcome to Tony TV. So, there you go.
Wow, it is also really pink in
Yeah,
here.
it is very pink. My headset to become kind of like an IIS streamer, We have a different persona when we stream, so...
What's your persona called?
Do you actually want to know? My persona, everyone calls me auntie. What I do on stream is I have my collection.
Cool, show me more. Keep going.
So,
keep going.
really?
Yeah, I want to see everything, yeah.
So this is like my working tool.
Spank me? What do you do with that?
Oh, so what happened was I just like spanked my friend's butt and then it got viral. So after that, I became a spanker. Official spanker on Twitch.
Did you know this?
I did not.
So which one is your favorite?
I mean, the one that says spank me.
Yeah.
Who do you spank? Just spank your friends?
Everyone, I can spank you. Do you wanna?
That's kind of weird, but
It's not weird. It's like showing, how do you say, kindness. This one is actually very weak because I've been spanking people with this one
I'm
kind of a lot of times. So
kinda
it's
scared.
not bad. It's not bad. Welcome to Korea. Yeah, this one is.
it's one of the weirder things I've done in recent memory.
Yeah.
So you made a career off spanking.
I think so. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So also, this is my future husband. So.
Oh my god.
I can't beat those guys.
Personally, I've never been on Twitch, and I don't even know how it works. So you basically sit here, you live stream on this camera.
Yeah. Do you wanna like see how?
Yeah,
it
I
works?
do. Show me.
Okay.
It's super interesting.
Yeah. And then
there you go.
All right, this is what it feels like to be a Twitch streamer in Seoul. But you could actually go live right now.
No, I can't.
Yeah, do it.
Do you want me to
let's go live.
actually do it?
Yeah. I'm a YouTuber. I'm from the US. I'm making a story about different Korean lifestyles here in Seoul and small living spaces, even though she doesn't live in a small space. And then that brought me here. It's pretty cool.
Hi guys. Long time no see. So where's my donation? Just kidding. Anyway.
So every time you go live, they donate?
And then every time they donate, I have to do reaction.
Can somebody donate? Because we're filming a really cool video. And I want to see a reaction.
No.
Please.
My queen.
Someone donated?
Introduce me.
Oh, Chong Lover, thank you for $20. Introduce me. I don't think I can introduce
Do
Chong
it.
Chong. Thank you so much. Usually I just squat. Yeah.
Wait, donated $50?
Yeah.
You made $50?
Yeah.
Is that US dollars?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, $50.
So that's my reaction. Yeah.
What? Wait, I can't. This is like blowing my mind right now. Wait.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Support. Thank you.
All right. Signing off now.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for helping the content. I'll see you guys later after this.
That was one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I just imagine how many more people like you are making like a living like this. A lot.
A lot.
On Twitch.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world.
I feel like stream is very unstable.
Yeah.
Like, didn't you know? Like, it's like very on and off. So like, when you make money, it's important to like, I think, save.
Yeah.
Instead of, just like spending.
I can't believe this is how some people make a living in Seoul, and spending the day inside so many tiny homes showed me a side of the city I've never seen, even after spending over 2 years here. Behind the bright lights and the shiny tech, millions of people are squeezing their lives into rooms smaller than a closet. But the positive attitude they have is inspiring. If you truly want to understand Korea, you have to look closer at the everyday lives unfolding behind these tiny doors. After seeing how people live in tiny apartments, I'm about to meet up with someone who grew up north of the border.
Hi, I'm Moon-ho. I'm from North Korea. I escaped there when I was 26 years old.
I invited Moon-ho to visit my former hometown in South Korea to see how it compares to his hometown in the north.
Let's go to Seoul!
Let's go to Seoul! Yeah. This story is a compelling one because Moon-ho is going to share his escape story publicly for the very first time. He left his entire family behind and crossed a treacherous land border into China, trekking all the way to Thailand where he searched for asylum from Kim Jong-un. In this video, I want to take Moon-ho around Seoul where I lived and taught English for 2 years. What does a North Korean refugee think about South Korea? Are the two countries similar or totally different? I'm ready to capture his raw emotion in this crazy Korean adventure. Going to South Korea with a North Korean. This is fun. First time on a plane? Did you know that my friend is from North Korea?
North Korea?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
안녕하십니까?
Dude, her face is like, seriously, he is. You don't believe me? It's gonna be below freezing in Seoul, so getting our jackets on now. Gotta get warm. Are you nervous to go through immigration? What if they catch you and they know you're from North Korea? Thank you. 감사합니다. Bro, you made it! Yeah! Dude, welcome to South Korea! It feels so great to be back in Seoul, one of the world's most buzzing cities. Before I ask Moon-ho about his childhood in North Korea and how he escaped, I want to break the ice by taking him to my favorite fish market for breakfast. Are you hungry?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Let's go!
So as you can see, it's so big in here. There's so many different rows of fresh fish.
Smells like ocean.
This fish market is the oldest and largest seafood market in Korea, housing 700 vendors who sell more than 300 tons of seafood every day. That was brutal. He just stabbed him in the eye. That was insane. Do you like it?
Like me.
Oh, he bites you? Really? Bro, be careful, man.
It's okay.
Bro, look at this one.
Whoa.
Look, he's smiling. Do you have a place like this in North Korea?
Yeah, not this big, but very small and kind.
Behind us, she's cutting up some live octopus, but she's cutting it in pieces. We should try it.
Actually,
This is what I ate before.
This big?
A little smaller. I put my hand in here and I ate it in one bite. You know what? I'll show you the video. It's like my first ever YouTube video. Live octopus in Korea.
Okay, go, go, go.
Yeah, my friends threw up.
were you chewing?
Yeah, I chewed it for 20 minutes, man. This lady just rolled up with a bucket of fresh crab. She just puts it in the tank. There's so many of them fresh. What kind of fish do you want to try?
King crab.
King crab? That's my favorite. Can we buy some crab? 2. Oh my God, you speak English. That's amazing. He is from North Korea. He escaped. What do you think about that?
Hi, Korean.
Oh, that's the penis fish?
In English, spoon walk.
It looks like a penis.
Yeah, fine.
That's so strange. Ugh. Feels like a penis, right?
Yeah.
We have just bought this amazing looking crab. I'm so excited, man. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
감사합니다.
Receipt I follow her.
Oh.
야, 선생님.
안녕하세요.
감사합니다. 바이바이. 가요.
We're following her upstairs. This is the best part of the market. This is the upstairs of the fish market. There's so many restaurants to choose from, but this lady is walking really fast and we're just trying to catch up. This is a plate of live octopus. It's called sannakji. So the one I ate earlier, this in one bite. Whole. Whole. Yeah, you dip it in the sesame oil. Oh, it's sticking to my lip. It's the strangest feeling when it's like sticking onto your tongue, grabbing. So when you're growing up, you eat a lot of seafood?
Every day.
No, originally I thought that you're not supposed to talk about North Korea here, but the people don't care.
It's kind of like a stereotype thing.
Stereotype thing, yeah. Like you can talk about it.
Yes, I am. I do.
Our king crab has just arrived and I'm literally shaking. I'm so hungry. Bro, this is one of my favorite meals in the world. King crab from this, yeah, king crab from this market. You can see the steam covering the lens right now from this crab. This thing was alive literally 20 minutes ago. And usually in the world, you can't get it this fresh and this plentiful. Oh. The taste is one thing, but the texture, it's perfect.
The color is perfect.
The color is perfect, man. Everything is perfect. The best part about this is when you finish the crab, in the head, there's all like the brain, and they cook fried rice inside of it. Oh. Oh. I think he's too drunk. Oh, he's falling everywhere. Holy crap. It's literally 12:30. Do you see that also in North Korea?
Yeah.
People like to drink in North Korea?
We are Koreans.
That dude must have been well into his 70s and he basically couldn't even walk out of here. And everybody just keeps eating like it's normal. Like nothing ever happened.
Yes, everyday life.
Dude, this is the best meal for this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that was the best meal of the year.
Thank
Now
you for
we will continue the adventure.
Yeah.
When I went to North Korea, I learned that ping pong is one of the most popular sports. And after Moonho says he's got game, I'm ready to challenge him to a match. We have found the ping pong room and Moonho's going down.
I'm gonna show you the spiciness. It was more difficult than cross the border.
After a crazy heated match, we head outside into the freezing weather where I uncover Moonho's harrowing escape story.
I was growing up like a very, very small countryside. There's not much people there. After school, we just played in the nature.
So you grew up like a normal childhood. You were happy.
Yeah, my father was an engineer and my mother was a teacher.
When did you first know that there's a different world?
I lived in a dorm with my 4 roommates and there's a TV, all white and black. Suddenly I figured out some kind of signal from South Korea. In that time we didn't know what is that. Should we stop to watching that or should we keep it? But it was fun, it was interesting. So yeah, let's keep it. It reminds me again and again, there's a world we don't know yet. When I decided to live there, it's because after a semester, I had to go to army.
And you didn't want to go.
Yeah, I didn't want to because if I go there, I thought there's no chance to like explore the world. And then I moved to like the city nearby border between China and North Korea.
So you go to the border town.
I got a problem. There's a broker who trying to help me. He asked me some money to cross the border, but he lied to me.
He stole your money?
Yeah, kind of.
How old were you at this time?
21, 22.
And how much time did you spend in this border town?
I stayed there 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, that's the hardest time in my life so far.
And what happened? How did you actually get across the border?
Eventually, the broker who lied to me helped me to cross the border.
The same guy.
Yeah, after 4 years. In that time, I didn't expect that much. Oh, this time it's gonna be canceled again, I thought. But it happened. I crossed the border. The biggest challenge was the family. It's because my family, they trusted me a lot. But in that time, I had to decide to leave. Should I stay there or should I move?
And even now, it's been how many years since you talked to your parents?
I was 9 years old.
Do you think about them every day?
The most difficult thing is whenever you feel happy or sad, you're gonna remind your family. That's the biggest thing.
There's no way to communicate with your mom. Like if you want to call her, you cannot email her, nothing.
There's no internet, so we cannot email them.
What happens if you get caught, like on the border town?
That's gonna be very dangerous. That's because, especially to me, I'm a man.
You go to jail, you think?
At least.
You think they would kill you?
Yeah, it's possible.
With the help of his broker, Moonho crossed the land border into China, eventually making his way illegally into Laos before arriving to his final destination, Thailand. All right, bro, I gotta stop you in your story because it's so cold. Let's go get some food real quick and we'll learn more of it later.
Sounds good.
Okay. We're entering a North Korean restaurant here. Here we go. 고맙습니다. This is a table of North Korean food.
That's why it's hard.
Is this like a comfort food for you? Like, does this food make you feel like home?
Yeah.
So this is awesome, man. This is a bowl of hot noodle soup with some spices in here. We have egg, bean sprouts. Slurp it as loud as you can.
Yeah, you have to make sound or thank you.
It's a respect to the chef.
I'm kidding.
Really, really spicy, really flavorful. These noodles are like really sticky. After you escaped and you made it to Bangkok, that was the moment where you felt like safe, I think.
The moment I feel safe is when I caught by the Thailand police.
The police, how do they find you?
We have to find them.
You find them.
ourselves,
So
yeah.
you just said, okay, I'm here.
We shake hand. Hey.
When you go to the police station, what do they say to you?
There's a lot of North Korean refugees up there, so they already knew what kind of process there. Oh, okay, come. We went to jail.
You went to jail?
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was like a vacation. After a long, tired, escaping journey.
They give you food?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then after jail, what happened?
There's a refugee camp.
Oh, you went to a refugee camp. What did you think the first time when you look out the window and you see all the lights and all the people?
I thought, oh, my decision was right.
Can you ask her where she's from in North Korea?
Yangon province, nearby the Baekdu Mountain.
Can you tell her that I went to Pyongyang and I enjoyed it?
Okay. Thank you very much.
She said thank you very much.
Yeah.
I didn't meet Kim Jong-un, did you? Do you hope to meet him someday? No.
No.
Are you scared of him?
무서운가?
아니, 싫어.
짐을 두고 이렇게 하는 것도 또 고맙지.
Thanks to you, because of you like North Korea. She said even we left because of we don't satisfy the life there, but it's still our hometown.
잘 먹었습니다.
에이, 고맙사.
It's time to hit the bitter cold streets. Whew. 안녕하세요. After lunch, Moonho and I set off to explore the city. We found this incredibly peaceful spot up by this temple. There's a monk hitting the gong right now. And we have incredible views overlooking the city. This is a cool moment, bro. Any Buddhist temple that I visit in the world, just always so peaceful. Moonho, what makes you happy in life?
You makes me happy. I'm not a religious person, but when I'm praying,
You pray a lot?
I feel happy. Yeah.
We gotta move because we are literally freezing. Moonho's running down the stairs. You're like a movie character. You're like an actor in a movie.
I'm an actor.
You are an actor.
Yeah. My life is a film. I'm making film right now. I'm working on my screenplay now.
That's good. Moonho and I are chilling in the backseat of a taxi, going to the next place, having a chat about life.
What is the value of escaping? I lost my connection with my family and my old friends. Did I make a mistake? Like that kind of feeling.
Do you feel selfish?
Yeah, some way, but I feel like I lost a bigger thing. I spent almost my whole life in North Korea. I understand the freedom is not free, but I feel like I paid too much.
Do you think about this stuff a lot?
Yeah, sometimes when I have time.
We are inside a massive shopping mall called Lotte World Mall. What do you think of it?
That's too much.
There's too many things in here. I don't even know where to look. What are we gonna buy?
Too many options. If I want a sweater, there's a lot of options. So I cannot choose.
Sometimes it's better. You want to buy a sweater?
Yeah,
okay,
just
take one
option,
sweater.
yes.
A lot of sock options here. How can you choose which socks to get? There's 1,000 options.
I'm gonna show you how I choose. First of all, you should close your eyes and just grab.
Okay, take that one.
It's too.
There is a new experience in Seoul that I've been wanting to do for years. Go to the top of the Lotte Tower, the 6th tallest building on Earth. I'm taking Moonho with me, and I just hope he's not scared of heights. The thing is, in Pyongyang, I noticed that like, there's buildings, but there's no people in them. It's just for showing. Is it true?
No, it's not for just showing. They're trying to do like using that, but there's no like construction like materials, so they can finish the interior. People couldn't live there.
Behind us is the tallest tower in Seoul, and we're about to go to the top. We're getting in the elevator to go up. 123 floors. In Pyongyang's 105. There's also people in here. We have just arrived at the top. Let's look at the view, bro. Wow, it's so beautiful. Whoa, bro. Whoa. When you step your feet, it's a glass and it goes straight down. What do you feel?
I like it.
It's the trippiest thing ever. Like if you're scared of heights, this is not a place for you.
I like it. This kind of.
You like heights? You like tall buildings?
Yeah. I don't have any phobia.
Fear.
Fear.
Dude, the views of Seoul are beautiful. Moonho, what are your goals in life?
Make a good film about the Korean's life. Not North Korean, not South Korean, Korean's life.
Just Korean.
Yeah. I wrote a book like about the road trip in America with the 3 North Korean guys.
That's awesome. It's so interesting how we're standing here on top of the tallest building in Seoul and just looking over that mountain and knowing that that is North Korea. It's the same land, bro.
Yeah, we can smell it even, the North Korean smell.
What do you want to say to people who they think so badly about North Korea?
Yeah, I think the media tends to like focus on the dark side of North Korea, but they should know there's life to people, not just government.
We're standing on the outside sky deck, and that is the actual top right there. After we take in our last views of the city, we head underground to see how Seoul's metro compares to the one in Pyongyang. They always play this song to know when it arrives. Navigating this metro is like a maze. There's so many stops. It's actually the world's most extensive public transportation system, connecting the most amount of land efficiently.
Really?
Yeah. Pyongyang is the deepest underground in the world, and Seoul is the most extensive. This one is way more modern, more light. To be honest, my favorite part about North Korea was the metro.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
like
famous paintings.
Yeah, paintings and Kim Jong-un big statues.
I went to Pyongyang secretly. I crossed the river, Daedong River. In that time, it was normal, so I didn't think that much.
Yeah.
What
would you say if you saw a white person on the Pyongyang metro? What would you think?
I feel like, very grateful. That's because someone interested in my country. That's a good thing.
Did you know English at that time in Pyongyang?
Very, very limited.
We're just a couple of kids on a metro. I just want to make a comment that my camera's in the middle of the metro right now, and there's people everywhere, and nobody's even bothering. They're just all looking at their phones. We have entered one of my favorite districts here called Myeongdong. It's like a shopping district. There's street food. Do you want to try some street food?
Oh yeah, sure.
We're getting some tteokbokki, which is one of my favorite Korean street foods. Tell me that. It's basically like a rice cake that's smothered in this red spicy sauce. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Mmm. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Mmm. Temperature hot and spicy hot. Is the tteokbokki in North Korea the same taste or it's a different taste?
I didn't try. I've never tried
Oh,
tteokbokki.
so it's not popular in North Korea as a snack? This is called a 2-for-1. The way I describe tteokbokki is like one big piece of rice with red sauce on it, spicy.
It's the version of 깍두기 in rice.
What is this?
This is 탕후루.
Let's try one. Thank you. This is sugar-coated fruit on a stick. I'm going for the grape first. Whoa, really sweet. It's a hard coat of sugar on the outside and then just a piece of fruit in the middle. Really good. You get that crunch and that sweetness and then the burst of flavor from the fruit. It's good, right? Leave it to the Koreans to invent some crazy things when you eat.
Sometimes I feel like this kind of things wealthy. Wealthy is a good thing,
Yeah,
but sometimes too
much.
things.
I agree.
Sometimes simple is the best.
Simple life is the best. What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom is a chance to like go travel or study whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Do you think everyone in North Korea should have the chance to be free?
definitely.
Yeah. What I really admire about Moonho is he left all by himself. He left his family behind, his friends behind, because he knew of a better world out there that he really was determined to discover. So many people don't do that. And I think people watching this video will feel very inspired by you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you know, the night is young. We are going to party our asses off tonight. It's gonna be epic. We heard about a secret North Korean karaoke bar in Incheon, a nearby city that is the largest gathering place for North Korean refugees in the south. To be honest, bro, I hate karaoke, but something tells me it's gonna be fun because I'm with North Koreans. It's different.
Hey,
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm Sophia.
I'm Drew. This place is so interesting. It's like a big communal room. Oh, you escaped when?
2008.
How old were you when you escaped?
7 years.
17. You went through China?
Yes.
Was it scary?
Very scary.
When you escaped, you were by yourself?
Not with my friend.
And then did you also go through Thailand?
Of course.
Do you like South Korea more than North Korea?
North Korea is my hometown.
The old lady has just sat down and joined us. So now it's a table of 5 North Koreans and myself. When did you come to South Korea?
2010년.
2010. Which Korea do you prefer, North or South?
당연히 남한이. South Korea.
So she said South Korea?
Yes.
Tell me about the noraebang.
북한 사람들 와서
the owner is North Korea. They wanted to come here, North Koreans, and getting stressed out, really singing and dancing.
Yay! Nice to meet you. This is so bizarre. I'm the only non-North Korean person in this room right now. Like, I didn't even get this experience in North Korea. This is way cooler. This lady is like proper North Korean opera singer. And apparently she was really famous there. She's really good. Muno, I think you should go on stage and sing a song. Moonho, Moonho. Good job, bro. Honestly, it felt like I was tripping inside this karaoke bar. Then again, hanging out with Moonho has been a trip all by itself. I still can't imagine what he's gone through. Despite growing up in completely different worlds in 2 countries that are considered enemies, I feel like we are brothers. We both love good food, playing ping pong, and traveling around the world. After spending time with Moonho, I want to explore some of the quirkiest and most unexpected things about everyday life in South Korea. South Korea feels like another world. Things are different here. It has a homogenous culture with a lot of funny and wacky things that's different than anywhere on earth. I've gotten to know Korean culture fairly well after living and teaching English here for 2 years. I've been back every year since I left, and I'm still amazed by the uniqueness of this country. This toilet seat heats up your butt. Here are 12 wacky things I find about Korean culture. 1. Restaurant etiquette. Hands are dirty, chances are you'll be using toilet paper to clean them. Need to call the waiter? Just press this button and someone will come immediately. Need to cut your food? Use scissors, which makes life easier and safer than knives. Also, they sometimes sit on the floor to eat. 2. Afraid of the sun. In the Western world, a tan is considered attractive. In South Korea, it's exactly the opposite. They want to look as white as possible, and they even use whitening cream or get injections to make their skin whiter. 3. Selfie madness. Koreans take more selfies than anyone I've ever seen. Selfie sticks are rampant among the young and the old. Shall I mention the word narcissist? 4. Everything is Samsung or LG. As Korean companies, both Samsung and LG rule the universe in Korea. Phones, TVs, computers, air conditioning, washing machines, and even cars are Samsung. 5. Matching couples. It's fashionable to dress up identically to your boyfriend or girlfriend. Can you imagine the comments you'd get if you did this back in the States? They also go all out on winter clothes, even when it's not that cold. I mean, it's 35 Fahrenheit today, and they dress like they're in Antarctica. 6. Double hands. One hand isn't enough to say goodbye. Koreans use 2 hands. Also, out of respect, they use 2 hands when pouring a shot to someone older than you. 7. Their age is different. How old are you? Korean age?
I'm 30.
When Koreans are born, they are 1, and everyone gains 1 year on New Year's Day. So if you're born on December 31st, the very next day you turn 2. It's hard enough for me to tell their age because they all look very young, so this just makes it harder. 8. Dancing in clubs. No words are needed to describe the way Koreans dance, just watch. 9. Slurping noodles. When eating noodles at a restaurant, Korean slurp is the loudest humanly possible. It's not considered rude, and I still can't understand this.
The noodles is choking you.
10. Plastic surgery. Cosmetic shop, cosmetic shop, cosmetic shop, cosmetic shop, cosmetic shop. South Korea is the #1 country in the world for plastic surgery, and it's all from the neck up. Girls want to make their eyes bigger and nose taller. Even my old middle school students were getting plastic surgery. 11. Communal hand soap. Many bathrooms have bar soaps to share. I always find hairs on them, and I feel like they're making my hands more dirty than clean. So weird. 12. Sock and phone case stores. This entire store sells only socks, and this store is only phone cases. Talk about specialized stores. Seoul streets are filled with sock stores and phone case stores. Trends come and go faster than you can imagine. As quirky as it seems, South Korea is truly an amazing place to visit and one that should be added to your bucket list. But life in Korea isn't just about the quirks. There are many strict rules that you must follow as a visitor. After spending 2 years of my life living and traveling through this country, I've gotten to know Korean culture pretty well. And while it's a very open and capitalistic society where most things are accepted, Koreans are very superstitious people, and you must be respectful of this before coming. The following are 8 things you just cannot do in South Korea. 감사합니다. 1. Stick chopsticks in your rice bowl. This action signifies death because at funerals, Koreans burn incense upright in a bowl of sand. If you stick your chopsticks vertically in a rice bowl, you will get horrible looks, so consider yourself warned. 2. Throw toilet paper in the toilet. The plumbing systems in Korea are not made to flush toilet paper, so you must put it in the bin. Yes, even after doing your business. Trust me, you don't want to be that guy who overflows the toilet. 3. Write someone's name with a red pen. To avoid getting scolded at, make sure to always write in black or blue pen. Writing in red ink, which is like blood, somehow means that a person will die soon or that you want them to die. 4. Wear shoes indoors. This strictly applies to houses and may also apply to schools, cafes, and restaurants. Koreans are very clean people and they always remove their outdoor shoes when going indoors. Most homes will have a little area to keep your shoes, so just do it. 5. Talk loudly on the metro. Koreans hardly speak on the subway, and when they do, it's only a small whisper. It's almost eerie to witness thousands of people crammed into a small space completely without sound, but they respect one another, and you must do the same. 6. Assume people speak English.
Excuse me, do you know where the airport is? How to get, no? Okay. Hello? Hi, do you know how to get to the airport?
The vast majority of Koreans can speak or understand English at a basic level. While it's getting more common for the younger generation to know the language, it still cannot be assumed. So learn a few Korean words, like 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다. 7. Use one hand to give or receive. As you've probably realized by now, Korean culture revolves around respect. And one of the best ways to show high regard is by using 2 hands whenever you give or receive something. This goes for pouring soju shots, passing a phone, or even opening a door. 8. Refuse to bow to the elderly. Instead of shaking hands, hugging, or kissing, Koreans greet each other by bowing. It's a common way to say hello, thank you, and goodbye. And the older the person is, the deeper bow you have to give. All right, we are in a taxi now. We are heading out of Seoul. It's always a fun and unique experience here in Korea, but respecting the culture is a must. While none of the things mentioned above are illegal, and you can probably get away with doing them as a tourist, I highly recommend keeping them in your back pocket so you don't offend anyone in this lovely country called South Korea. And after going through what you shouldn't do in South Korea, here's something that you absolutely should do. Eat every iconic food in Seoul. We're here on a 15-hour layover, which Deanna and I booked on purpose for one reason and one reason only. The food!
And skincare.
What? Whenever someone asks me what my favorite cuisine is, my answer is always Korean. Not only because I lived here for nearly 2 years, but because it's the healthiest and most plentiful that I've found on earth. The massive food binge of Seoul starts now. So it is 5:30 a.m. We have just arrived in Seoul. We got a big pot of kimchi jjigae, and it's gonna be delicious. Are you excited? Kimchi jjigae is a massive pot of sour soup with kimchi and Korean vegetables, always served boiling over fire, which is nice because it's freezing cold outside and it's warming us up a lot. Have I mentioned how spicy this dish is? Never underestimate the heat of Korean food. How is it?
It's a good amount.
Meal number 2, we are headed for some Korean
Barbecue.
Fact, you cannot come to Seoul without eating Korean barbecue. If I had to eat one meal for the rest of my life, it'd be this. What is that? What are you getting?
Kimchi and limited edition.
Here we got some samgyeopsal, which is the Korean pork. This table is just beautiful right now. Always cut the meat with scissors and let her grill until you like it. This is a spiritual moment because we've eaten Korean barbecue about 1,000 times, but never in Korea. All of that food for just 24 bucks for 2 people. That is a deal. Stomachs full, we did some exploring around Hongdae, Seoul's young and hip district, and the epicenter of the Korean fashion wave. These are so Korean, they don't even have a lens. What do you see over there? If you have a layover in Seoul, this is the place to spend it. The most Korean thing you can possibly do, photo booth. Alright, next up on the food binge is street food. South Korea definitely has their own style of street food. Tteokbokki 하나 주세요.
그래요.
고맙습니다. So tteokbokki is a spicy rice cake, kind of like a big piece of rice, and it's chewy. We also got some fish cakes. It's called oh dang, like oh dang.
It's called
How is it? Very good?
So, do you want more food?
Oh my god, I don't think I can eat any more.